humble and kind have been left behind. It's Rhyme and Reason 510.
There's a rhyme and reason for your life. There's a rhyme and reason why you're...
Hey there, Tony here, and I hope this episode finds you happy and healthy and humble and kind, because I'm talking about humble and kind, and you might have heard me at the beginning say how it's been left behind. And what does that mean? It sounds kind of sad. Well, have you noticed how it's real trendy for so-called leaders in their field to be assertive and vulgar? You know, love to drop those F-bombs to show how cool they are. They got their tattoos, all that kind of stuff. That, you know, they can express their inner darkness, and they have their disheveled hairstyles, and they just love to use that profanity every chance they get. And I'm sure they think that it's all real cool or sick, as they say nowadays, to, you know, they can make a lot of money doing that. They can look more like a street person than a business person. You don't want to come off looking like you got money. Even if you got money, you don't want to look like it, right? And then they parade back and forth on a stage and in front of a large group of people who prefer a badass attitude over someone who's humble and kind, because goodness gets stomped by badness every time, don't you know? But like Huey Lewis said in a song, sometimes bad is bad. But humble and kind, they're qualities with infinitely more strength. Now, my computer dictionary app uses this description, and they use these words as synonyms for humble: meek, deferential, respectful, submissive, diffident, self-effacing, unassertive, unpresuming, modest, unassuming, self-deprecating, subdued, and chastened. Okay, true lasting humility based on biblical principles doesn't line up with all of those. Not really. And in fact, I'd erase all of them except maybe meek and respectful and modest. I might add deferential and submissive back in with some caveats. But in order to show humility and kindness, you don't have to put yourself down. You don't have to assert yourself, and you don't have to be a wallflower, and you don't have to lack confidence to stand up for yourself. But you do have to have a big picture perspective on life. And the big picture is, you're not the sovereign authority of the universe. Sorry to tell you if that's news to you, but you're just not. In fact, even if you're one of the most remembered people in history, you could still be totally forgotten one day. Yeah, poof, vaporized. Almost as though you had never existed. Well, Tony, that sounds like I should blast myself out there, man. Better to sizzle than to fizzle, right? Yeah, you should definitely do that. At least if you plan on making this puny, earthly, limited time existence your claim to fame. If that's what you're doing, then yeah, sizzle, man, sizzle on. Because if you're 60, 70, 80, 90, or even 100 years is all you're going to have, then buddy, fire it up. Why just flicker out when you can go out in a blaze of glory? But then again, I might be right about this eternal life thing. Actually, there's no might to it. And if I am right, and I am, then your blaze of glory is a precursor to the blazes yet to come. Yeah, kind of picking up what I'm laying down there. And they could have all been avoided with a simple act of humility. Oh, it's so hard to do, isn't it? Humble yourself and admit that you're not God and you're not the king of the universe. You're not all that. You're not a king or queen of anything more than can now be seen. But what is seen now will soon fade away. So humble yourself and do it today. Time's a wasting. Stop wasting time on your eternal decision. And this is Tony from TonyFunderburk.com reminding you that life has rhyme and reason and consequences because God made you.
There's a rhyme